Long ago in the land of Israel, there lived a prophet named Jonah. A prophet was someone God chose to deliver important messages. Jonah had heard God's voice before, and he knew when God was speaking to him. One day God gave Jonah a difficult command. He was to go to the great city of Nineveh and warn the people there to turn away from their evil ways. Nineveh was known for violence and cruelty. The people did not follow God, and they hurt one another. But Jonah didn't want to go. In fact, Jonah didn't even want God to forgive them. So instead of traveling east toward Nineveh, Jonah went west. He went down to the port city of Joppa and found a ship sailing far away. He paid the fare, climbed aboard, and thought he could escape what God had asked him to do. But no one can run from God. Soon after the ship set sail, the sky grew dark. The wind began to howl. Waves crashed against the sides of the ship. The storm became so violent that the sailors feared the ship would break apart. The men cried out to their own gods for help and threw cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But the storm only grew worse. Meanwhile, Jonah was below deck, fast asleep. The captain rushed down and shook him awake. "How can you sleep at a time like this? Pray to your God," he shouted. The sailors decided to cast lots to find out who was responsible for this disaster. When they did, the lot fell on Jonah. They turned to him with frightened faces. "Who are you? What have you done?" Jonah told them the truth. He admitted that he worshiped the Lord, the creator of the sea and land, and that he was running away from him. The storm raged even stronger. Finally, Jonah said quietly, "Throw me into the sea and it will become calm. This storm is happening because of me." At first, the sailors tried to row harder, hoping to reach land, but the wind pushed them back. The waves towered higher. With heavy hearts, they prayed for forgiveness and threw Jonah into the sea. The moment he hit the water, the storm stopped. The sea became calm. The sailors were amazed and began to worship the Lord. But Jonah was sinking down into the deep ocean. The water closed over his head. It seemed like this was the end. Then something incredible happened. A great fish, sent by God, swallowed Jonah whole. Instead of drowning, Jonah found himself alive inside the belly of the fish. It was dark. It was damp. It was lonely. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah remained there. And in that dark place, Jonah began to pray. The Bible says, "Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights." Jonah 1:17. Inside the fish, Jonah cried out to God. "I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me." Jonah 2:2. Jonah realized something important. He could not run from God, but he could turn back to him. And at the end of his prayer, Jonah declared, "Salvation is of the Lord." Jonah 2:9. God heard Jonah's prayer. After 3 days, God commanded the fish, and it spit Jonah out onto dry land. Imagine Jonah lying on the shore, wet, covered in seaweed, blinking in the sunlight, alive because God had shown him mercy. Once again, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. This time, Jonah obeyed. Nineveh was so large that it took 3 days to walk across it. Jonah walked through the city streets and shouted a warning. 40 more days, and Nineveh will be overthrown. The people heard him. Something amazing happened. The people believed the message. From the poorest person to the king himself, they were sorry for their sins. They fasted. They wore sackcloth to show they were grieving over their wrongdoing. The king even stepped down from his throne and commanded everyone to turn away from violence and evil. And when God saw that their hearts had truly changed, he forgave them. He did not destroy the city. But Jonah was upset. He had known God was merciful. He had known God might forgive Nineveh, and Jonah didn't think they deserved it. So he sat outside the city, angry and disappointed. God caused a leafy plant to grow and give Jonah shade from the hot sun. Jonah was very glad for the plant. But the next day, a worm destroyed it, and the sun beat down on Jonah's head. Then God gently reminded Jonah that just as he cared about the plant, God cared about the thousands of people in Nineveh. The story ends with an important lesson. God's mercy is greater than our anger. His compassion reaches further than we expect. Jonah learned that you can't run from God, you can't hide from him, but you can turn back to him. And when you do, he listens.